Hello world, this is JWP, J-Board Primo Beat, coming to you live from my home studio. For about 20 years, I've been mixing and mastering music, rapping, songwriting, recently started singing, and everything else that goes along with music production, such as graphic design, editing, photo editing, video editing. And for around 15 years, I've been using SynthEdit to make my own audio plugins. Check out my website, jwpsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. My Twitch, JWP Stream, Facebook, JWP Meta, YouTube at JWPTube. If you'd like to help support what I do, check out my Patreon, JWP Patreon. That's with 2 P's. There's exclusive content there for making your own audio plugins in SynthEdit. My GoFundMe, JWP Fund, or my PayPal, jwpmas@gmail.com. Likes, comments, subscribes, follows, whatever it makes you click are appreciated. So I will be continuing along remastering an older track in FL Studio. Get these headphones on here. Which one's left? I'm sure this one's left, right? Does it really matter? No, it's left. All right. So it looks like this is where I left off. Cueing this guy here, getting it right. I can come up a little. Okay. From the left. Looking at everything, it's like this bass is really low. It's not really though. It's everything else that kind of loses its power though. What's going on with its patcher here? Looks fine. It's not moving though. Interesting, yes. Because it doesn't have its MIDI track. Okay, so let's go to, I'm gonna go to merged and look for that. Somewhere in the stack here. Actually, I just pull it up, right? MIDI out. That's okay, and then back to consolidated here, and I'll toss that on. And then meow, I should be able to get some EQ movement. Feels like it's cutting a little early, but should be fine. No, not that. This. Okay, so there it is. And it was just cutting that bottom fundamental before. Okay, what's this guy doing here? Looks fine. Fine. Most things look okay. Right. So, like, am I done? Gotta look at my checklist here. Sure, there's things I've missed. I gotta go through everything again anyway. Subsignal, did I do that? I didn't. Okay, so let's do that. Look at these certain instruments that I want out of the subsignal. We'll get the sub emulator up and be here. So that will be this. I'm not sure it really, oops. I'm not really sure it really matters the order, which it really doesn't. Then I want a stereo enhancer here, and I'm just gonna merge it all, and that'll give me what we're hearing in the sub. So right away, this is very prominent. I can put it at the end here. I'll put it after the compressor, before this last EQ, so I can increase the volume once I need to, not picture. Picture. Okay, and then sub cleaner. It's mostly gone now. Still kind of there a little. Okay. So how much gain do I lose here? Perceptual gain. And at about 9. Still there. I put a corrector in already, I think. Yeah, it sounds like I put a corrector in already. Okay, so without. So there's a lot of body there. I almost want to move it up some more. It's fine though. Can't even hear the shaker at all, which is a good thing. Yeah, you can't even hear it at all. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that. Let's get these out of there. Gonna drop this guy on. Oops. Let's go 20 this time, I suppose. Okay, and then, like, what else then? Just that one instrument this time. Phase correlation. It's fine. Let's check it out anyways. Go to the phase correlation matrix here. This is sort of a new step. It's like, okay. Where's the other space here? Oop. It's like 6 isn't really playing nice with anything. But I mean, it's there. It's fine. Let's see. Let's get something else here. Just halftime-ish. Let's go fine. I don't even think that works. Doesn't even seem like that works. So here's 6. It looks like it's not playing well with the kick. Looks like nothing's playing well with the kick. What does this guy say? This is fine, but that's between the stereo channels, right? So it looks like almost like the right channel is struggling with this lasery sound. But it's fine. I like that. It's just correlation. That's all this is. There's no decorrelation. So what if it's merged, right? There's another thing too. I gotta do stereo. I'm gonna put that in the list. Let me see that there. Phase correlation, stereo optimization, stereo staging, stereo imaging. Imagining, stereo imagining. So what happens if this is merged, right? What happens if all these guys are merged? It should be flat now, right? But it's not, so what's going on here? This one is. It's interesting that 5 isn't. Weird. And again, it's between the channels too, right? So, I guess, I mean, it kind of makes sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense that they would move. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Phase correlation. So stereoization now. Let's look at the vector scope here. I don't know if this has a vector scope. Stereo field. Yeah, it's not very wide at all. Not a vector scope though. Anti-phase. Draw a line. I don't like that. Thank you. I'm sure there's things I can do to it, like let's get rid of this temporal overseer. The some stereoing here. Some stereoing. Stereo. Okay, so I'll keep the snare in the middle-ish. That's not what I wanted. And I'll just do some back and forth EQO. Actually, let's do both. Let's like twist this snare into awfulness. I'm gonna go vocal enhancer, stereo separation. Let's just go loose and up to 500 here. 500. Yeah. Then grab this guy and toss it onto the next one. Move it down, and then kind of volume does that change? A lot. Okay, and then after that, I want to do some stereo delay. Like I said, we're really gonna mess it up here. So let's go with 20. I type that in. 20. It's crazy. Crazy huge. And 20 right, left. So that must actually be the shaker, I think. It's like it's just going bonkers. Both? Let's do both here. Because this kind of counterbalances the other snare. But there's this, it happens so infrequently. So the shaker can do the job for that. Give it a lean to the right. This guy you gotta do something special with him. Or not really. It's a phaser? Panamatic? Has to be before the patcher, right? Panamatic? Where is it? Panamatic. Okay, what do you got for presets? Nothing? Are you serious? Alright, pan. Faster than 80? Full blast. A little fast, try 66-ish. See if it's just staying on one side now. No, it's not. It's actually moving. And then to that EQO. Split it. Yeah, that totally killed the volume. Get back a bit. Maybe EQ after Panama. Oops. Man. Can I undo that? I can undo that, right? Yes. Do I like this though? Not really. I don't like the Panamatic. Yeah, as good as she gets. At least it's some stereo imaging. Let's look at it now. Same tool. A little bit more. Especially that snare and stuff. Bass is really dead now though. I feel like it's not riding as much anymore. What are we looking at here? I'm gonna pull on it a bit. So I don't have a tilt on it. I don't? What did I do to this thing, right? Because if I mess with that, then I mess with the compressor. So I'm gonna do it after. Let's do a tilt after. Then... my shelf. 4.5. A little better. 6. Full blast. Because it's pretty much like the other instrument, right? Maybe it just needs some stereo space. Let's give it some stereo space. Let's bring this guy down a bit here. And then drop this here. Push that after. And invert this, right? Except only up to 500. How did it change so much now? There. How's it looking now? Still in a good spot, sort of. It's not. So let's bring this down again. How's it looking now? It's where it needs to be. However, I want that tilt back a little more. So I was liking where it was. There. It's kind of fitting together a bit better now. Except I'm still not getting this. It's like that's too much. Like 15 is too little bit. So what's between that? 16.5? It's pretty dominant, but I mean, it's the supporting instrument. Anyway, let's see what these other guys think about things here. I really wish there was an easier way to move these around. It's so brutal using my touchpad here. Okay, and then I want totes. This is controlled. Okay, so let's give it an ear. Okay, without. With way more high end here. Let's bring this over top of that. Keep things safe-ish. We're still under 3, so it looks like Maximus is going to be able to do its thing. Is there really anything else I could touch on? I mean, I could spread this bass a little bit. It does have the like the really high pitch thing. It doesn't look like I have any slots left though. It also does have a chorus, so that's a little concerning. Let's look at where that's sitting as far as mid side here. Okay, that's fine. Looks like there's going to be some nullification in the high end there once it monos. That's a bit of a gain loss. Let's hear what that sounds. Again. So this would be a phone, right? Without. With. Not really hearing it. Kinda. It's like right there at some of the most sensitive part of an ear though. However, I mean, there's not really much I can do about that. I mean, I can merge it a little bit as long as the low end is nice and mono. What is the chorus doing? Does it have a low cut? Cross cut off. There's no cut, no low cut. Okay. It's fine. You know, I want to hear this on my small speaker. I gotta do big speakers eventually, so I'll say that for last. Okay. Turn that up. play. I like it. It's a little overpowering with that bass though. But it's equal with the sort of string thing. Everything sounds really good, in my opinion. Look at that kick. I feel like it's leaving something to be desired. Where's it sitting? Maybe just come up a little bit in the snares. Shaker. Shaker's a little loud, but it fits good, so I'm not gonna mess with it. This guy's a little loud too. Bring that down a bit. It's more of a supporting instrument than a little up. Let's put it back where it was. I don't do those 1 decibel movements. Okay. Let's go. A little loud, but the bass is decent. So everything's fine. I'm just picking at it. Oh, the kick can come up with it. I feel like it should be a little more dominant than other things here. Right now it's kind of just in the background. It should be pushing past all that. Let's get the push past. It should be the one that's, you know, over a bit. Okay. Let's check that now. Almost sidechain everything else. Oh. Good. Sitting in a good spot now. The snare's kind of buried now. I feel like it's buried because of the snaker. The snaker. In the bass. The snaker. The snaker. Bro, did you hear my new track? It's got mad snaker. Okay, this is bring those down a bit and get that snare a little more audible. There it is. The bass is still really loud. Yeah, I like it. Save that. Now I can do the mastering run, so to speak. So the pre-master, OZone here, which is pretty much just me sitting here and watching it load. So let's start with codec. Let's get that done. Oh no, that's not a thing. Thither, rather. My bad. Medium, this, that, the other thing. Just turn it all on. I mean, these only activate when there's silence or whatever, but yeah, mastering assistant. Streaming high, modern. Okay, actually I have to find the loudest part of the track first, or the most transitional. So looking at the waveforms here, it looks like this second snare drum is probably the transitional point. And I gotta find like an empty point. So here, the ending. So between that and that. Okay, so that's the most sort of dynamic areas. I mean, it would be sort of right here. Right here. However, the ending, right? Let's go for the body instead. So, what does this set to? Let's set the bar. Go 2 bars from here to here, here to here. Let's go beat instead then. Because I need a little less than that, something like that. 2 of each, maybe just 1 of each. There. Let's switch back to my headphones here. A little more. There's also a point with no shakers. Not all the time, though. It's bad I couldn't just say, like, you know, this part, and that part, and it would just cycle through them. So there is shaker on this part here. Let's go here. Give it a balance between... Why is that weird? Like, why can't it give me just, you know... Is that a bar? That looks like more than a bar. Yeah, it looks like more than a bar. Because then beat is for them. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess beat is for them. Okay. So like that. A little more. That's a nice transition point for it. Not specifically the loudest part, but it's the transition point, right? The most dynamics. Most dynamic part. Okay. It's doing its thing. Yeah, I guess I should have gave a fair warning for that. That's also affecting me because that's super loud for me too. Okay, and as usual, I don't use any of this stuff. I'm sure it's great or whatever, but yeah, nah. Now I want negative 1.5, I want IRC1. This doesn't matter, that's what matters the most here is these guys. And then 13.5. Turn this off, zooming out, stop, close everything here, and then I'll just let it run. So this is like the boring part where it just analyzes everything. Everything else looks fine. Go. What happens too if the beat is too loud, it doesn't actually activate anything, so there's not any movement. This is actually really quiet though, so look at how much movement's there. As far as it limiting, like it's actually grabbing it. It's a lot of grabbing. Usually I only get like 1.5. Maybe it was too quiet. But I'm not really aiming for too much loudness here. I do have to sit through the whole track. I prefer to. Gives me a good balance down in the OZone world. See, it's moving around much less. It's finding its happy medium to make it that number. Still moving a little bit by bit though. Snakers. Gotta get those snakers in check. I like it. Alright, so that's where it's at. To turn that off, and this is ready to go. Save that and give it an export. I'll call it here. Check out my website, jwpsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. My Twitch, JWP stream, Facebook, JWP Meta, YouTube at JWPTube. If you'd like to help support what I do, check out my Patreon, JWP Patreon. That's with 2 P's. So there's exclusive content there for making your own audio plugins and synth edit. My GoFundMe, JWP Fund, or my PayPal, jwpmas@gmail.com. Likes, comments, subscribes, follows, whatever makes you click are appreciated. Thanks for watching. Until next time.